I'm trying my best.
I want to thank everybody for coming today. I'm looking forward to this session. You know, one of the things that we've heard the most questions about since last spring is Portfolium and how we can use Portfolium in Canvas now that we have that option. I know some departments have been using other options for capturing student work and portfolios, and so I'm excited that we have this this option now within Canvas. And I was also doubly excited when I was asking around who's actually using it, who knows a little bit about it, because I couldn't find anybody who did until Dee stepped forward. And so I'm so thankful to her. Today she's going to come and share with us about how she's using ePortfolios and Portfolium. And I'm sure we'll have lots of questions and some good interaction. So Dee, I'm going to turn things over to you.
Thank you, Donna. And I want to thank everyone for taking time out on this dreary Monday, beautiful morning to learn about ePortfolios. And I'm just going to share what we're using in the nurse educator track, the online class. Of course, we have to have a participant learning objective. So at the end of the presentation, you should be able to articulate the academic and professional value of ePortfolios, navigate the Portfolium site in Canvas, and incorporate desired Portfolium assignments into your selected courses. So academic portfolios have been around for quite a while, and there are different types. We have professional portfolios, we have learning portfolios, faculty portfolios, specialty portfolios. So the objective of these portfolios are to enhance the educational experience of students and help them build a more strong and successful educational and career path. I didn't realize the value of portfolios until about a couple of years ago. We had to keep a portfolio when I attended a graduate school at a different university, and we uploaded, you know, various assignments, but I didn't realize that I could take that portfolio with me. I could add to that portfolio things that I was doing in real practice and actually use that to help me to showcase talents and to aid in getting different positions. So I really do understand now the value of portfolios. Also, employers are now using portfolios in hiring decisions. Some are not requiring them, but a study showed that they all said that it was very beneficial to both them and to the candidate, the employee candidate, to have that portfolio is available to them. So the portfolios are a repository, not just of academic artifacts, but also professional artifacts. What we're using in the MSN online educational track, we have a designated assignment every course that goes into that portfolio. And I try to vary it from course to course. So one course, they may have a PowerPoint, a graded PowerPoint that goes into that portfolio. In another course, it could be a video presentation that they've recorded using the studio tool that we have available in Canvas. It could be a copy of CE certificates that we have required during that course. But also they can put their resume, their CV, any additional CE documents, any awards that they receive, either academically or professionally, certificates, letters of acknowledgement. Let's say they participated in an evidence-based counsel team, and they get a certificate for that. They can upload that into this portfolio. And also media formatted materials, again, videos, blogs, whatever they may, you may see fit to have them to enter into the portfolio, or what they want to add as well. So the benefits of these ePortfolios is that they're versatile. Again, you can put just a plethora of different documents in there. It's permanent. It's portable. They can take this with them. They can take their Portfolium account with them and have it for years and years and years. Affordability, which is great because this one is free, which that is a great benefit for our students and one we really do need to promote. It's professional and it's also strategic. When we have our students, we are not only giving them the content that they need to be successful, but we want them to carry over into their professional, the ability to get the job that they want or the position that they want. So if they start now and they are strategic, they can really have a good representation of what their strengths are and the skills that they have attained to meet the requirements of whatever position it is that they would like to attain. So this is just a screenshot of a home page that one of my courses has, and you can see the Portfolium button on the left. I'm going to leave this, I'm going to stop share here, and then I'm going to go to, and I cannot minimize it. Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to one of my courses. Donna, do you know how I can stop sharing?
I think you actually have to hit the share button again, and then go into wherever you want to share. Did that not work? I think.
Okay, hold on.
I think if you go to where you want to share and then maybe hit the share, I know you have to take off and on the share. So
yeah, okay, it won't let me get to what I want to share. Okay. Okay, now I think maybe I can. Okay, does everyone see the screen?
No.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I apologize. I am so sorry.
No,
I have not tried to share two screens at one time.
Every time we use this, I learn something new. So we're all in it together.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's see what else we can do. Okay, we're going to go back to okay, can you see this screen where it says objectives, and now we're going down to that. Okay, well, pretend you're in my course. And you will see on the toolbar to the left the Portfolium button, and it is that easy to click on that button and get to the Portfolium site. So I'm going to go down. Well, maybe I am. Okay. This link will take you to the Portfolium network. So we'll go see if we can get to it from there. Okay, can you see it? I'm in my Portfolium site.
We're still seeing your slide, unfortunately.
Okay. Let's just go out the whole slide. Okay.
Yeah, and so now we're just seeing a blank. Yeah, we were just seeing a blank slide.
Okay, so we will go into share.
There we are.
Now, yay! Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. And yeah, okay. So this is my particular Portfolium site, and you can see it'll have the student's name. They can put their picture in here if they want to, and then they can put their credentials. Projects, I'm going to click on a project here in just a minute, but what they can do, they can put what their skills are. They can connect, and this is how you are going to be able, as a faculty, see what they have submitted to Portfolio. Now, you're not going to monitor what they have put in there if it's their personal CE documents or whatever. But if you've required an assignment, they will actually send you a request to connect. And once you connect with them, you can go in just to verify that they have submitted that assignment into Portfolium. It's really simple. It's so simple. So I click on my connections, and you can see previous students who have sent me the request and I've accepted, and I can go in and see these assignments that they have submitted. Okay. Now, so how do you submit an assignment? Okay, let's go here. Let's not go there. Okay, so once you have told your students, let's just say you want them to submit a PowerPoint presentation. All they have to do is add new project. So once they add new project, they can put the title, and we'll put Power Presentation. Then we can upload the file. So I'm going to upload this PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Category, they can put whatever it is. I'm going to put education. And then just a description. If you wanted to insert, or they wanted to insert a link. So there are a lot of options. And so publish. They can share this on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to publish the project. Oh, I have to say I'm not a robot. Then I publish the project. Okay, so there is my project. So for instance, if Dr. Elsie was my instructor, I would send her that link asking her to connect with me. She would accept, then she could go in and see my project and verify that I completed the requirement for that course. Okay, so let's. Okay. And really, that is what we use it for, is just to, for an assignment for every course, and for them to add all of those documents I was talking about. Skills, again, drafts, they can start a project, connections. In Portfolium, that one page that I showed you in the PowerPoint, that link, it has a lot of questions, a lot of troubleshooting questions if you run into problems, but really we haven't run into any problems using this. So let me go back to the, stop sharing this, and we'll go back to the actual. Okay.
Dee, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
I wondered if, and I haven't looked at this specifically, but I wondered if when you're setting up an assignment, can you link the assignment you create to Portfolium so that you can grade what they've uploaded?
That's not something that I have tried to do.
Okay.
Because the assignment itself is what they got credit for. I just double checked to make sure that they uploaded it to Portfolium.
Okay.
And I've not had a problem with students not uploading their assignments. But again, it's already been graded.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I see. So you just set it up as a regular assignment and grade it, and then ask them to
yes,
and then ask them to to put it into.
Yes, because what we normally do, it's usually one of the bigger assignments, and we will actually give them an opportunity to make revisions based on our feedback, so that the best product possible is going to be showcased in that portfolio.
Okay.
Now, it's up to the student whether they make those revisions or not, but like I said, I've not had that problem where they have not done that. But you know, it could happen this next class. You know, who knows?
So the only person it really hurts is them if they don't make those adjustments, because then they're taking that portfolio out, you know, with
Exactly. And they really are beneficial. So some of the tips that I have for navigating Portfolium and for making these as assignments, set your expectations very clearly at the beginning of the course. If possible, you know, you can put a little blurb into your syllabus and also in your course calendar, letting them know that in week 7, there's going to be an assignment, and then in week 8, that revised graded assignment is going to be required to be put in Portfolium. If you tell them that in the beginning and give them the instructions, it's a lot easier. Because, you know, sometimes it's just like all of us, we might procrastinate, and you don't want them to put that off until the last minute, because it does get very confusing, especially if you end up having 25 students in the class and they all wait to the last minute. So I would set the expectations early, give them an opportunity to ask questions and to troubleshoot. 9 times out of the 10, the problems that students have had has been from not having the correct or using the right compatible platform, you know, their computer system or so forth. So it's never really been a problem with Portfolium itself. And Ezra has been really good to answer questions as well in regard to that. So clear expectations, and I try to remind them periodically throughout the course, you know, don't forget this is coming up, and if you haven't went in and set up your Portfolium account, you know, go ahead and do so. And I think if you highlight what the advantages are for the student, number one, you know, again, it's free. It is versatile. They can put everything in there. It is portable. They can take it with them. And it is very, very valuable for them in their career, in their professional life. Again, I did not realize that until we were doing the leadership portfolio. And, you know, and I've been in nursing 30 years, and had I been strategic, I would have kept better documentation of my achievements and accomplishments, because you don't always have or remember what you've done. So it would have been a lot easier and a lot more complete had I not had to hunt and dig, because when you leave one place of employment, you don't necessarily get to take anything with you that might serve as documentation. So it is very, very valuable. And another thing is, don't hesitate to access the Portfolium resources. There are helps that you can reach out to if you do have a question. And then also provide feedback to your students. Once they've completed that assignment and they've submitted it to Portfolium, give them that positive feedback, so that will make them want to add their own. Not just what is required, but they can add their own skills and so forth in there. I'm sorry this was so disorganized. I apologize. It's a learning experience, though. You can't pull up two at the same time.
So,
what questions can I answer?
Dee, this is Mimi over in the library, and I just want to confirm with you, the students do need to set up their own account, correct? Even if they go into your course and select the Portfolium button, they will still be prompted to set up their own account.
Yes, but that account is for, once they set up that account initially, they can access it in any course.
Okay, and to that end, when they graduate from the program, that they can access the Portfolium site, but they have to remember their credentials for the Portfolium site.
Yes, and I'm sure that they can change their credentials anytime, because just to make sure that it is portable. Yeah. So they won't always have to use their, if I'm correct, they will not always have to use their Spalding email account. They can actually modify that and change that to whatever email account that they will be using once they graduate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
There was also a question in the chat about whether you could grade, how you could grade or give points for using Portfolium. So if you wanted to give the student a grade,
that was me.
Yeah, okay, Deontay.
Hi, Deontay.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm not sure that you can put a grade in Portfolium. I would have to look that up, but you could actually just make the assignment, put it in your syllabus, and put it under a grade book under Portfolium requirement. I do that, but I use like it's like a check mark. They either did it or they didn't do it. But you can assign points to that, just whatever, you know, your rubric. You have to build a rubric to decide how you wanted to grade that. But yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I liked your idea of creating the assignment just like a regular assignment and grading it that way. And then you could add points for making sure that they uploaded it to Portfolium.
Yeah, you could. You could. So the whole point for us is that we wanted for them to showcase what they had learned and the skills that they have attained. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of research with K through 12 using Portfolium. But I think the biggest benefit for us, what we were thinking, was it's not so much the academic part, it's giving them tools to be successful in their work environment, their professional environment. It does help to see that, but we've already graded the assignment. So this is just another tool to help polish them and get them ready for a really competitive market. I know there's a nursing shortage, but to get the position that you want, you do have to think strategically, and you do have to, you know, think ahead of time. And then some of our programs may have a very tight job market. And let's say one student has a really developed professional academic portfolio, and one just goes with a resume and an interview. I mean, you can see how the one with the portfolio is probably going to have an edge. So we want to give them all the tools that they need. And this is a wonderful, I think, a wonderful tool, and it's free.
Dee.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you what my brain was when I asked the question. Because in African American studies, we have a different scenario. You guys place folks in jobs. We place folks in graduate school. And so it's a little bit of a different expectation. But what I'm thinking is still the same as you, where our students would probably be more competitive if they had something that, I mean, and I'm just talking about only African American studies students. If they had a portfolio that they had kept up with the whole time they were with us, or with me in my case.
Yes.
And then it would already be kind of boxed in or boxed up for them. And the reason I asked about grading it is because if I'm asking students who are not taking my class as an African American studies student per se, they're just doing it as an elective, then I would want them to have something to show for it, I guess, because in their case, having their portfolio just for African American studies probably doesn't do them a whole lot of good if it's just one class. Am I making any sense?
Yes. Yes, you are. You are. I think that's where you can come in and really sell the value of the portfolio, so that no matter what class or where they are, they will want to keep that up. And I was thinking also, if you had them put an assignment into, or an exhibit into Portfolium, if you had a graded rubric, they could actually attach that graded rubric in there as well, if you needed them to demonstrate the grade, if I'm understanding correctly.
Hey, Dee, also, this is Pam. You can use this for accreditation as well. So if you
Yes.
plan the artifact to represent one of your standards of accreditation, to reflect what you've taught as the standard of the accreditation, then when you're asked for exhibits, you don't have to go back through tons and tons of Canvas. You can just pull up
Yes.
that. And where I went to school before, you had to give a single person access to you could box it up to your Spalding time. And then they use that as an accreditation tool.
Yes, absolutely. That you are correct. So much easier. So much easier. Like Deontay, we have for our nursing accreditation, we have what's called the essentials. And for this particular course that I teach is the essentials of master's education. And I can map out that course and their Portfolium assignment. I can put which standard that maps to, so that when they're asking for student exhibits, I can just go back in and pull those out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My mind's working over here. I'm not even sure what to say, but it seems like I've figured something out here that I'm going to be able to utilize for my students. So.
And if there's anything that I can do once you start getting into the process, just don't hesitate to let me know. I mean, I'm not like the expert, but I have been using it. It's about a year now.
So you're not the expert, but you are the guru.
Okay.
You can be both or either. I'm not sure, but I just want to ask one more thing. So how long can I, as the professor, access a student's portfolio after the class is over?
As long as they will give you access.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, when they graduate, I wouldn't expect to be able to go into their portfolio, but I should, if they're in your courses and then they're in another course, unless they decide they don't want you to have access, and you're no longer their instructor, they can stop that.
Okay.
I was going to say, we have a couple questions in the chat, and one of them is about how often you give formative assessment feedback to students throughout a course or a program.
Well, we don't really.
On the portfolio.
Yeah. Again, we are more focused on the assignment that was graded that they submit to that portfolio. And so far, our students have done that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to answer your question. We just haven't done that.
I could see using this too as an advisor, as a faculty advisor with a student who's in your program, and you want them to have a portfolio when they graduate, and perhaps you do meet with them from an advisor standpoint and look through the portfolio with them and talk about what's there. So I don't know if that's maybe the question you're asking about, that formative assessment, to try to give them some ideas about what more they might want to include or the quality of what they have there. So
yes,
yeah, that was the question where I was trying to get to, in terms of giving them feedback on what's in that portfolio, and maybe the advisory is the appropriate place to do that, so they can refine and make some adjustments to what's in there. So yeah, I think that's probably an appropriate place. Thank you.
yeah. Or
yeah, I'm thinking.
I mean, we have a capstone course, and so I could see doing that with my capstone students when they get to the, to that level where they're ready to graduate, and we could actually do it within the capstone and make completing that portfolio or having certain requirements for the portfolio part of that too.
But wouldn't it be great if all of our undergrad students coming in at least got started with a Portfolium, and they could just add the just basic simple things, and we'll just level it, you know, with each course, with each class, with each, you know, and they could just add and add and add, and then the faculty can pick up where the other left off. And I think it would be great if we could get started earlier with it.
Just real quickly, Meredith has asked about the portability. Meredith, it is not, they continue having access to this portfolio once they graduate. It is theirs for life, is my understanding.
It
What
is.
Portfolium has told us. And so they don't have to go back through Canvas or come through Spalding at all, but they will have their link to access it for life.
This, you are correct.
And then Robert has asked a question, and he says that it's not related to Portfolium, but you know, we're in the right place to try to answer questions today. Anyway, it's related to feedback on papers in the grade book. So Robert, if you want to ask us that, yeah.
Hey, yeah, thank you. I
didn't realize that was you.
Oh, yeah, you didn't recognize my hair, but first of all, this has been an excellent conversation, and I'm rethinking some of the things I want to do in my classes. I teach in the MSBC program, and I teach two classes. I teach strategic planning and the capstone course. And so I really emphasize writing. I think writing is the most important thing that they can take away from even my strategic planning course. I want them to be able to develop a strategic plan, but I want them to be able to express themselves well. So I'm in cahoots with the Writing Center, and the Writing Center gives great feedback to my students, and then I give them feedback as well. And there's a whole lot of writing in both classes. So I may actually want to think about doing Portfolio, you know, incorporating that in my class after what I've learned today. So, but my question is highly technical. And so if this is not the place for it, I'll be happy to take it to another forum. But the Writing Center, both the Writing Center and I give feedback in marginals in the grade book. I discovered well into my first class that students were able to read my marginals. They could read what the Writing Center was writing, but they couldn't read mine. So I would end up just downloading them and sending them by mail, you know, in a PDF file. And I'm wondering if there is any suggestion, or if there's a switch I haven't thrown, or why they might not be able to read my marginals. So again, this might be a little bit more technical than you want to go into, and I don't want to waste other people's time with this question. So let me know whether you want me to take this somewhere else, or you might be able to try and give me a little feedback.
Donna?
I was going to say, go ahead, Dee. I don't have a quick answer for you, Bob, but I have discovered a couple of things about the way I create Canvas, especially peer review assignments, and it limits what I can do as the instructor. So yeah, maybe if we do want to, it might be more helpful to sit down one-on-one and kind of look at what's happening and try to figure it out.
Okay.
But yeah, I know there are some limitations, especially when you're doing peer review or you have other people reviewing the paper in addition to yourself.
Okay.
And I'm not sure there are any quick and easy workarounds that I've found anyway. So.
All right.
Donna, if I may, I've used Canvas for this my 6th year
Great.
using Canvas. But I do have a question though. Are you grading or providing feedback in SpeedGrader, or are you actually in the paper?
It's great. Well, I'm using SpeedGrader, but I'm actually putting the feedback
In the paper?
as marginals in the paper, and then I also give general comments, you know, in the comment rectangle.
So what I've found out is that it all depends on how the student is reviewing their grade. Because if you're putting comments directly in the paper, like the little bubble thing that shows up,
Right.
or actually typing in the paper, the student actually has to open the document. If
Okay.
they're just looking at the feedback from the grade, they're gonna see your feedback that you put in the speed grader on the side, but they're not gonna see what you put in the paper, like the next, they actually go and click on the little paper thing to open it up. So
Okay.
they're looking, like when they look their grade, they're just looking at those comments there. I use the rubric because I attach a rubric to everything and build it in
Right.
here, and then I grade it through the rubric. I will click, 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 and then in the rubric, there's a space where you can add additional comments, and then the entire rubric will show up on them with the comments.
That's great. I appreciate that. I'll check that out, and I'll also maybe do a little experimentation with a student or two. I do use the rubrics, and they're extremely helpful.
I love
And,
rubric.
yeah, and I'll just sign off by telling you that if anybody has thought about conspiring with the Writing Center, they are amazing. And probably if you were to ask my students, they would value them more than me. So anyway, thank you very much for the feedback.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I will say I used the Writing Center in an undergraduate course, and I told them they stole my thunder a little bit because I would go in and look at the comments they wrote, and I was like, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, and it's nice
So
to
now,
know that you're on the same page with the experts, right?
Thank you.
Okay,
Paul.
thank you.
I'll just mention here too, I know we were asking about, Mimi, I think had asked about students setting up their account. If you as an instructor go in and just open Portfolium, it automatically opens your account. And so I think the same is true for students. I think the only setup they need to do is if they want to change the email, or if they want to change, you know, if they want to change something about the way they're connecting there. But it's, do you know, do they have to actually register for an account? Or
Yes, the first time they
Okay.
click into it, they will have to set up their account, but it's not a big, long, drawn out process. It's fairly quick and easy. They'll just fill out their profile, and then they start adding whatever they want to add, like, you know, their skills and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know
But
for
then-
us as faculty, it's automatic, you know, when you go in, it's automatically set up, and then you can, you know, you can add what you want to your profile and so forth. But
yeah, I had to set mine up.
oh, really? I just
Yeah.
went into mine and I don't think I had to set anything up. So
Woohoo! That's good. That's good.
somebody had done it on my behalf. Although I'll mention, I found out that my name has been removed from the copier on our floor. So
Well, now that just will not do.
I know. I was like, things are afoot. I don't know what is going on. I've added here and not added there and removed over there.
Well, if anyone, honestly, if you want me to do anything to help you maybe start some assignments in a Portfolium, I don't mind at all. Just Dee Browning at spalding.edu.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys for coming today. And I have a message that Ezra sent me on Friday about, I haven't even had a chance to look at it. It's kind of a step-by-step of how to set up Portfolium assignments. So I will forward that to you. And then I'll also be sending you an evaluation for the presentation today. So I want to let you know that. So when you see that email from me, open it because it is valuable. Oh, and Lisa Potts says she has a quick question.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. I just didn't want you guys to go away.
Okay.
So I think, so you kind of mentioned, Dee, like, you know, that these are already graded, but they can upload the rubrics. And I guess I was kind of thinking along the lines also of like this being used not only for them like professionally, but like for accreditation and looking back, like and seeing what standards have been met and their basically proficiency level on certain things.
Mhm.
So is there like, I guess what I'm thinking, I don't even know that I'm clearly not articulating this well, but I'm thinking like, how do you get into their portfolio, like the grade that they received on those certain assignments? Like if you're trying to connect them with standards and things like that, do you know how it can be utilized in that way? or how you would like, is it just, it has to have a rubric and they attach the rubric, or?
Well, to see the grade, you have to have either a comment or a rubric or something to, if they're going to attach that into as their exhibit. For accreditation, I don't know what your accrediting body requires. Does it require that you show a certain grade, or do you just need an example of the type of assignment that they completed?
Well, I think, I know they definitely ask for like example assignments, but my understanding with one of the programs that we just went through was that they were actually looking to see, like, how did you measure proficiency on these things and proving that each of the students demonstrated that. So I think they would probably be looking for some kind of way that was graded or scored.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically just saying that, like, the actual file that they're uploading would have to have the grade, like, on it. Am I understanding that right?
If they needed the rubric, they could actually. Lana, do you remember what we did at Indiana Whistling? Didn't we copy and paste the rubric, the graded rubric, and put it into our?
Yes, we had to. Yeah, it had to be. That was the proof that it was a graded assignment that we were turning in.
Yeah.
So it was the actual assignment and the graded rubric. But
okay.
I've not played. I was talking to Dee this morning. I have not played in this setup to see what are. I use something similar to IU. It's not called this. It's a different system. But the students were they had a lot more capabilities to make it their own, so they can put different backgrounds. And I have not played in there yet. And there was 2 different ways that they can attach the rubric and the graded work. So I'm not 100% sure yet. Like, I need to play in it a little bit more to see how that can be done. Because I'm sure they can personalize it, and every time they can personalize more, then it gives them more different ways of that they can attach stuff to it.
Yeah, because they can
really
attach.
Demonstrate. Yeah.
Yeah, they can put different backgrounds. We had one of our students who put the Spalding background on there, and then another student had a different color background. And when they're uploading their projects, they can upload a file, they can upload a link, or I'm pretty sure they could upload a document, and that could be that graded rubric that they could just upload to that project.
And we can ask them to set it up. I think it's easier if they have like a little sub-file folder when it has, like, for this class, here's the document and the grading rubric all together. So there's a different ways that I can actually play in it and really classify it however they want to.
Yeah.
And again, they can use it for the graduate work. They can use it, like, if it's, I'm thinking about if it's pre-licensure or the baccalaureate or undergraduate, then they can use it for graduate, and they can use it when they, when they're in a professional environment.
Yeah.
So they can actually set it up like that in there as well. I played
so it's
it
really
a little
versatile.
bit. I'm not proficient yet, but it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, it is very versatile. And I think the more that we all use it and can network with each other and share what's working, what's not working, I think it'll be a richer experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really what I see today, is that this is, I mean, like I said, we've had a lot of questions about it, and nobody's really had the chance to use it yet until Dee stepped forward and said, I've been using it. And so we are all learning what the potential is and how to do these different things in Portfolium. But it sounds to me like, I'm sitting here making notes because I'm thinking about using it as part of our undergraduate capstone experience now. And just having students in multiple classes. I think this kind of goes to what you were saying, Deontay, too, is just having students in multiple classes adding material to this so that when they graduate, we have something that, we can look at to showcase what they did in their time with us, too.
Yep,
and then take that into the professional, take that into professional world or to graduate school, wherever they're going. So that's
Donna, do you want me to send you the little PowerPoint? It does have some references on there. I don't know who might want it.
Yeah, that would be great. We will upload that with the video.
Okay.
On the PTO website. So that would be fantastic.
And actually, Dee, I just have a question that just popped up in my mind. Do you know, or maybe if Donna knows, do we have a gigabyte limit on how much the students can upload? Or is it, like, how big is the cloud?
I don't know that myself.
Donna,
I
do
don't
you
know
know?
the limit. I don't know what the limit is for individual students. That would be a good question for Ezra, because that is a good question to ask. I'm not sure what the limit might be.
Yeah, because it just popped up in my mind because the other electronic portfolio that we've been using had a limit. So if a student, sometimes like they would and I was using it for the capstone. So the student will have to explain why, they're submitting this specific project, right, as an exemplar of this program outcome. But then they had to like narrow it down and actually write less, because it would go over the limit and it wouldn't let them do anymore. And it was like 1 gigabyte or something like that. So I was just wondering if this one has it, because they can do a lot of things with it, making like I really like the personalized option of it, because every student can make it their own portfolio and put their own stamp to it, and sometimes put more of why they thought this was a good project for them, or what exactly did I learn from it. But then they will do like a little narrative. But it does have limits if the program is limited per each person, like how much they can upload.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think about that. So a good question for Ezra for sure.
Yes, yeah, it is. All right. Well, again, thank you all. And I think this is just the beginning of the conversation. Let's all stay in touch as we start using this. And maybe next year or next spring, we'll have another session where we can all come back and talk about the different uses for Portfolium and what we've learned about it this year, because I think we've piqued some interest in using it. And as I said, I will be sending you an email with a link to an evaluation, and also just a short thing that Ezra had sent me with some directions about creating an assignment. And I hope that we will see many of you again later this week, as we have our session tomorrow is on creating an inclusive classroom. So if you can join us from 1 to 2 tomorrow, we'll look forward to seeing you there. All right. Thank you so much, Dee. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dee.
everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you.